So when people are learning guitar, they learn chords, and that's wonderful because we take chords, we put them in a pattern, and then we repeat them over and over to make a chord progression, and that makes our songs, and it's lovely because then we can perform them, and it's just great. But those chords have relationships to each other. They're not just out on an island somewhere on their own. And when you learn them, it's worth learning a system to go along with it. And that system I'm going to talk about today is functional harmony, 7-note diatonic functional harmony. That is to say, we are going to pull 7 chords from a major scale with the root at C. That's all white keys on a piano. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B. And what we do is we create a chord with each of those notes as its own tonal center, which we extrapolate into modes later, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the chords that each note creates within the scale. So that'll be C, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, and a little bit of diminished here with B. And then it cycles back around to C. And understand this, a lot of people talk about these things called the caged shapes. What they really are, they say less about music theory than ways that you can move shapes around on the neck. So I can do a C right here, right here. I can do it like this. I can do it like this. Like you can do a C so many different ways, but it's still a C because it contains the triad. But never mind the triad, just learn those 7 chords. Let's go over them again and we'll talk about their function. If we talk about C, we'll call it the tonic. That's your root there. And then we'll talk about the D minor here. That'll be your supertonic. And we talk about E. That'll be your mediant. E minor is your mediant. And then F is the 4. That's your subdominant. And then dominant is the G. A lot of people will play it as a dominant chord because it's the dominant chord within the kind of paradigm we're working in. And then we get your submediant in A minor. And then we get this diminished leading tone. And then that leading tone always wants to pull back to the home, to the tonic here. And I don't have to do it there, I can do it right here. You know, I can do it anywhere I want, but the point is you can take these different chords, and if you place them over the Nashville system, for example, you know the Roman numerals? Well, you have for the C, capital I, then lowercase 2, then lowercase 3, then you have capital IV, capital V for the dominant, and then on the A you got the lowercase VI, and then you got the lowercase VII, like Final Fantasy VII, except there's a little degree symbol beside it. That means diminished.